we have AI here to help us to understand human attention directly at scale for any type of asset within real time. But as I mentioned before, attention is just the first part. Being brain friendly is the second part. So another example how you could use AI is that you understand visual complexity. Why is visual complexity or visual simplicity so important when it comes to effective advertising? Our eye does only 2 to 3 fixations per second. Anything else is quite, what's the English word? It makes you tired, so you flip away with your attention. And when you're not like following a natural gaze path, which in Western cultures usually goes from the left, upper left to the right, bottom, it is quite likely that the processing of the visual information does not happen properly. So this is what AI can do for us here. And, but there are also other things. So for example, understanding what's the reading time. To be honest, that's not super AI. This is more automation and like a simple algorithm. But based on the language and how many words are processed in that language per second, AI can tell you how long does it take to read the main text. Simple thing, but imagine, okay, usually those are like people counting words to judge if this really is good enough for creative assets with a very short exposure to the consumer. What AI can also help you to understand is if you're using familiar words. So, and that's interesting because language is changing all the time. So there are pre-trained models that leverage huge lexica in almost any language, and by checking kind of the frequency of words, you can find an AI-enabled proxy for telling if this is familiar language or even consumer language. And other things, more visual. So how good is the legibility of the text and of the headline? Because again, here, this also has something to do with attention, but if it's not readable, it will not work. And so in this example, what we can see here, that there is a good legibility for the headline, but very poor legibility for product description. And to make this accessible to marketers, it's not only about knowing like the right AI models or AI pipelines to leverage. What is important here is always like, I would say, the interpretation and giving validated thresholds to tell people what's good and what's not good. Let's go on with another example. Extremely important in marketing, memorability. We want people to remember our stuff. We want to choose the right picture with the highest potential to be remembered. So imagine you have that selection of picture. What would you say? What is the one with the highest chance to be remembered? Any ideas? Yeah. The first? The first one. Okay. Yeah, but it's pretty hard. So thanks a lot for telling me. And also here's a point. AI can help us to understand this. I am not 100% sure if the answer is right, but it gives us the same objective foundation to discuss which one to choose, which can accelerate our decision process. Whoever has worked in a creative agency before and creative knows about those discussions, like, okay, is this the right picture? Is this the right picture? Takes ages. So here we can see the results. So yeah, guys, you were pretty close to what the AI says. In this case, it's the middle picture that has the highest score for potential memorability. And this is an interesting thing because what's behind here is an AI pipeline that was trained with real human recall data for a vast amount of pictures. And by that has picked up kind of patterns. What makes memorability? And we really thought about using explainable AI on this one because it's not obvious and it's not like this feature, this feature, or this feature. It obviously has to do a lot with like showing detail, having contrast, but also the situation, the number of humans in it. There's so much, and to evaluate all those aspects of memorability, probably impossible for you.